welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and joining me again is Morganne Rayne, adept visionary, spiritual guide, ceremonialist and artist, and Alisha Ann Kingrey, empath on a mission to help other empaths achieve financial independence. So, hello, lovely ladies.
Good morning.
Hello.
How you doing?
Well, we're cold. The Pacific Northwest is under some kind of weird couple of days in the 50s temperatures. It's weird. It's
Do
weird.
you guys remember when we went on the ship?
When we went on the what?
When me and Sam went on the boat trip, it was just our little day trip that we took.
I remember that.
We met up with the other, the English couple and the Scottish couple.
Mm-hmm.
The day that we went out, it was cool. Like, we weren't even really swimming and stuff. We had all shown up in our bathing suits, our suntan lotion, expecting it to be a super hot day, which June in Turkey, that was May. Either way, May in Turkey is generally hot. I have my big brimmed sun hat on, trying not to burn my white skin. I'm covered in SPF. It was overcast that day. It was cool. I did jump in the water because I like cold. The water hit my body like needles. It was absolutely freezing because we don't have the hot sun blazing on our ocean right now. And all three of us now, we live here. I guess you could call it permanently. 1 year on, 1 year off kind of thing. But they come seasonally. That's why they come here on vacation from England, from Scotland. And they were very disappointed this year because aren't we supposed to be going through global warming? Why is the world so cold?
I don't know. They got it all down in New Orleans, though, because my sister says it is burning hot, and it's been that way for a while. This is temperatures like they would have expected in August. And
like
they've been
July
going on
August.
for, I don't know, for a couple weeks. But I just can't get over how cold it is here. It's just, I mean, it's at 51 degrees, and it's what, 9:30 in the morning. That's cold.
Yeah, chilly. It's chilly over here too. And I don't know. Even when we were in Iraq just a few months ago, it never got hot. I mean, you're talking about the Middle East, the very middle of the desert that is normally, we do Celsius over here. I mean, you can get up to 50, 60 degrees. And it was staying, which 50, 60, I think that's about 120, maybe 130 in Fahrenheit. But it was very mild there. It rained. It was probably in the 30s there, which is, 30s, maybe that's like 80s. Very cool climate. So, yeah. Speaking of Iraq, things are moving. I want to ask you guys, well, you, Morganne, you're in America. I have talked to all of my American friends. Nobody is seeing the military presence. However, 29 states have recorded seeing this major military presence in their state. But nobody, of course, the MSM is not going to talk about it, which they should. They're all hurting. Their ratings are in the toilet. Everybody is turned to Twitter. They should talk about this stuff and hike their ratings back up, but they're not showing what's going on. So do you see any military presence there?
No, and I talked to my sister about that this morning. She's also not seeing that. And she's on a chat group, a prayer chat group all over the country. And they were chatting about that last night. And they were saying no, that they weren't seeing that. Now, she's in New Orleans. I'm in the Seattle area. And those are on that list of 17 cities to avoid right now. And I was down in Seattle last Wednesday, and there was nothing there. Nothing.
Well, I just started hearing all this stuff from the truther community 2 days ago. It's like very new. They're saying there's a lot of military presence in the southern states. So, I mean, south, you're looking at Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Tennessee area. So,
well, it wouldn't be unlike us to see that because we have military all around us. I mean, all around us. So, same thing in the south. There's military everywhere. So, I don't know.
True. That's true.
They want something to happen. I listened to Nino Rodriguez's podcast with 107, and he was saying that these are not the white hats out there. He said whatever's going on has nothing to do with so, whatever. It's just, it's just information. So, of course we have to use our discernment and, and then a lot of people are saying, really make sure you have everything stockpiled now because we're moving into, whatever.
Right.
And so it's good to have, a few extra cans and water put aside, I'll go today and fill up my gas tank.
Yeah.
Just the practical things.
I just watched a podcast today with Nicholas Vinyamin and Jacko.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jacko, he's, does he call Jaco? Yeah. He's ex-CIA, ex-Neil 6 team. I think he's pretty deep in it. And they were talking about that it was a white hat operation and it's a go. And there's a lot of, stuff coming down the pipe. So I don't know. Who knows? I've left so many of those truther things like, Daiga and us were talking before. It's like, and I think you're right. I think a lot of people do put a lot of stuff saying that this is what's going to happen. Saying that, the stuff that they wish. However, I was thinking about that today. If enough of us in the spiritual community are putting our intention towards that thing happening, it will. So whether it's happening or not, we could be making it happen.
Yeah.
I think that they giving those dates, constantly giving this date, especially for all community to concentrate on those dates. So all attention and all our energy goes on this date to bring it closer. I think
the problem with the dates is I've been watching this truther stuff now for, I don't know, it's really not been that long. I've been on the outside, I've been doing my spiritual stuff, but I haven't been in this truther movement thing at all. Nobody knows my name in the truther community, I guess you could say. I lost my train of thought. That's crazy. Oh shucks, where was I going? Where was I going?
I think you were talking about, us putting our intention on what it is we want, right?
What I was saying with Daiga's comment was, so I've been, new in the truther community, and I remember the dates because it was my birthday. It was something major was supposed to happen on September 24th of 2022. And that's about when I got into the whole truther group and everything. And then my birthday came and went, nothing happened. But then a few months later, I had seen a post that some major thing did happen September 24th. But again, this is the stuff that the mainstream media is not talking about. It's like behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. I think it's all being planned out very smart. You don't tell everybody what you're doing. You don't tell the enemy that you're coming. That would be ludicrous.
Well, if it's true they're taking down an entire system, well, globally, an entire system that would include the banking system, the military systems, the governments. If they're truly cleaning that up, that's going to take time, and that's going to take precision, and that's going to take ferreting out any of the rogue elements also that could resurge in their evil doings, right? All of that takes time. I think about, we all want the cake, right? We all want the beautiful, here it is, we're done, and now we have the beautiful cake in front of us, we're free, whatever. But behind that cake was a lot of stuff that happened to get it to that beautiful point so that we could enjoy it. So, patience is and they talk about patience being a virtue. It is. It's and it's trust. It's trust that I was thinking about last night. With Sodom and Gomorrah, I was thinking about that and where we are right now in our world. That we've come back to that again. As a species, just the debauchery, the disregard for our sacred selves, the elimination of the divine in the consciousness, that trying to eliminate that in the world. We're back at that point where and the golden calves. Like everybody worships money and and the things and the power. We're back right where we were when when they accounted about this in the scriptures about how the people had gone this way too. And I was just thinking about that. That took time too to cleanse and rid that. But it's here again. I think that evil will always be around. It just is. It's just an isness, that, it just.
Well, and if you think about it, it makes perfect sense because, look at us this time around. We're the awakened ones. We're the star seeds. We're the ones helping the change, but has to be some part of our reincarnation that has to be the cause of all the problems.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of, different people, humans in the universe that all have to go through a certain amount of reincarnation before we go back to merging with the one true source. The thing that I hate about the truther community the most is the complaining day after day. And then I left a
comment. They want their cake now.
They want their cake, but they don't want to do anything to help.
They don't want to wait for it to bake or, get frosted, or they want it now. And, that's incorrect. It's just incorrect. I think we as a consciousness, we are awakened. Yeah. But I'm sure we're not fully awake. I'm sure we got some surprises in for us too, right?
They want the cake without putting in the work.
That's
you know,
right.
You tell people are like, well, when is the White Hat's going to do this? Well, when is Trump going to change this? Well, and I made an ass of myself in the comments one day. I said, when are you going to do that stuff?
Yeah.
When are you going to get off the couch, stop complaining?
Yep.
Turn it around to a positive thing and move towards the goal. When are you going to do that? I had to leave the group. I literally got so many people attacking me. They're still like kindergartners in the spiritual community. They want it now. Gimme. How long is it going to take you? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And you're like, when's the last time you've cleaned your closet? When's the last time you've done a severe inner meditation, cleaning out all of your junk? Nobody is doing it, but everybody complains that the world is not a better place yet. Well, we are the gods that are going to make that happen. And until you realize that, nothing is going to change.
Yep. We're it.
We are it.
Yep.
There's nobody else. And when enough of us wake up, it will change.
Yeah. And, I kind of fall into the trap of, am I doing enough? And I had to have a sit down with myself yesterday because, it's like, oh, what else can I do? But, I am doing the consciousness work. And not only that, I'm teaching others the consciousness work.
Right.
And, and right now that is, I am not going to open up a channel. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. I'm going to do what my heart's called to do. So we have to really listen to what are we each called to do. So for me, it's teaching Christed principles. It's teaching Course in Miracles work. It's assisting people with, what issues. And it's me, whatever issues I'm going through, to do the work to heal that. Because I truly believe that we each come here with our issues fully intact. We incarnate into families where we get to play out those issues. It's our job to clear those issues, not just for us, because what we're doing is it's a collective consciousness. So if we incarnate into a family with poverty, hey, you had issues of poverty, you just incarnated into what your issues are. So it's not about blaming anyone. It's not about blaming your parents. It's about shifting the consciousness within, in your mind and in your actions and in everything, and learn that we live in an abundant, magical state. But if we're not, so going back, here we are at this time in our world, but this is the most pivotal, monumental, biblical happening right now. It's happening now. And we incarnated into this time because we were supposed to. Whatever we have are the gifts that we're supposed to bring. So if I bring meditation and prayer and consciousness and accessing the Holy Spirit, I'm doing my part. I don't have to do anything else but maintain my consciousness, maintain that connection, because so many people are not connected to the Holy Spirit anymore. They don't even, they deny the presence of Creator. They deny that. So I have to bring the balance to it, because I have a firm belief in the Creator. I have a firm belief in the Holy Spirit. And so that's my part. Whatever we're here, how we showed up, we need to clear our issues, because we're not just doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for the collective. And we grow our consciousness through conversations like this, and just awakening and keeping it in the forefront. And don't go to sleep. Just don't go to sleep. Just stay no matter how scary it looks, stay the course.
So I'm going way, way back in history right now. I'm getting into the Nag Hammadi, the Emerald Tablets. I'm going way back in history.
Ancient.
And they're saying about 450,000 years ago is when this stuff was written. Well, just before the fall, if you look at Rome, which we'll talk about that one because that's the probably nearest time that we can think about, the fall of Rome. What happened before they fell? The same thing that we're going through now, the corruption, and especially it rears itself through the homosexuality because of the retardation of the feminine spirit that is, the feminine part of us humans is generally the more spiritual part, is what brings the spirit to the planet. That's why we marry male and female. The men are the workers, the supporters of the family, the bodyguards, the whatever, they keep the house safe, they keep the house fed. The women are the nurturers of the children. The women are home and spending time with God. And, we're the ones that bring the spirituality to the planet. So, of course, it makes more sense. There's going to be more feminine energy on the planet right now when we're trying to fix ourselves. However, it gets to the point of homosexuality when people don't understand what to do with the feminine energy, the extra feminine energy that's coming to the planet. So just before, and it's all the way, every time you look at any major crisis that has happened on the planet where there was a major reset, there's this overabundance of corruption and overabundance of homosexuality because of the distortion. So that right there tells us we're headed for a huge change because, you get to a point where you hit a wall. You can't go any further. I mean, let's not even talk about homosexuality. Homosexuality, two adult people loving each other is a totally different situation. Let's talk about how many families in America especially deal with molestation. Look at sex trafficking is on the rise. Look at organ harvesting is on the rise. It's not on the rise.
We're becoming aware of it.
Right. It's in the light. So we know it's there, but there's nothing that you can do that's worse than that. Nothing. If you can harm a child, an absolutely helpless, harmless human being, as a society, you're done. There's nothing worse than that. Or, we are so sexually perverted. Look at the old women in nursing homes that are being violated. Look at the mentally retarded people in homes who are violated. We've just reached a point to where it can't get any worse. There's nothing worse that we could do as a society.
Well, I think as a species, we've lost our moral compass.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Sound of Freedom is going to be aired July 4th. Jim Caviezel's masterful work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mel Gibson, huh?
Right. Jim Caviezel just lived like an hour from where I live right now. He's not right. He's pretty famous around here, but he would, he made his mark. I mean, he did the Count of Monte Cristo. He starred in that. He starred in the Passion of Christ.
Yeah,
right?
I saw
So
that.
He went
I
through
watched that.
that whole experience with portraying that consciousness and that timeline. He talks a lot about that. I actually listened to him on another podcast. I think it was yesterday, because they're now promoting that movie. I would say start promoting that, because it's gonna bring awareness like nobody's business on what's going on with our children and what's happening with sex trafficking. So I'd say get that out, like maybe on your Starseeds Intel, get the link up there for people to go and watch that you have to pay for it, but pay for it. Watch that.
Hey, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we need to support these independent artists, because Hollywood is not going to push this stuff. The mainstream media is not going to push this stuff. They are the demons that we're fighting against. So it's really up to us to support each other in this community to get this stuff out. Just the fact that this...
Sorry for a minute. Could you repeat the name, Morganne, please?
The Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom.
And Jim Caviezel is the star. He plays. It's a true story. It's going to be hard. I've watched the trailers, and I know the new trailer is different than the old trailer, but he portrays a man who was begged to go find a little boy's sister. Right? She had been taken, and his mission, he was going to find her. And what he found was horrific. What he found, and then he ended up committing his life to rescuing all these children. And so this is the story about that.
And it's coming out on the 4th of July, yeah?
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I'd say, way we can help people understand and bring awareness to what's really going on, because people don't want to know that. They just don't want to know that. And, when I talk about groups that I'm in about prayer work for kids who have been abducted and in the sex trade, they look at me like, that's not going on. I go, okay. Yeah, they don't want to know. I mean,
that's the saddest part.
But I do know it's going on. And when you know it's going on, you got to do something about it. It's like you can't, if you close your eyes and pretend it's not there, you're part of the problem.
Right. You are the problem, because, again, how can you call yourself a Christian or a religious person or anybody in the spiritual community, but oh my gosh, God forbid I should hear a story that might make me shudder. But all the while, look at what is happening behind closed doors to the children.
Yep.
Every minute of every day in most all countries.
Yep.
Really? You're that weak as a spiritual person? Well, I'm sorry. You need to man up then, because you're not following the right spiritual path. Spiritual people are ass kickers. When we see evil, when we see stuff that horrid, we stand up.
Yeah.
We do something.
And the sad part is a lot of our spiritual leaders, the big box store churches, a lot of them are complicit in this too. And a lot of those ministers are involved. And so it's like you can't even trust the religious. Well, I don't trust religions anyway. It's like, what are you religioning with? Right. So it's like, it's one reason I don't have a big church. I don't do a church. That's too much responsibility. I just do my spiritual practice. I teach others how to connect with the divine within. I help people open up their eyes and see who they really are, because that's the problem. We have forgotten. We've been duped into believing that we are sinners, and that we are disconnected from our source. We've been duped into believing that, whether it be through our own ego or through a construct that maximizes the fear around that. It doesn't matter. It's time for us to frickin' wake up. Remember, we are part of the divine. We are God's children. And to begin to bring in hope, bring in remembering, bring this in and start exposing what the shit's going on out there, so that we can, as a species, survive, because we're not going to survive if we don't do this. We as a species will just go up in smoke. I remember like several months ago, I go, are we that bad of a species, God, that you just want to annihilate us? Are we that bad? Because if we are, annihilate us. Get rid of this, because this should not go on.
Yeah.
And, it's anyway, I get on my soapbox about the children, about getting it out there. It's important. It's important. Us speaking it here is important. Yeah.
I at the
Very
moment
important.
actually working with few children who've been through abuse, this
Yep.
Sexual abuse in
Yep.
the church.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, when mother bring daughter to this thing. Yeah,
Yep.
so
Yep. Yep. It's it's more common than we want to know about. We think it's a rare thing. It's not rare. It has been going on for a damn long time. Parents are complicit, priests,
Well,
ministers.
we deify these people.
Yep.
I mean, go back again, way, way, way back in history. We've always wanted some kind of God that we can see,
Savior.
some kind of God in the flesh. I want to see God is real. I want to have the proof in front of me. So, when like Thoth, however you say it. I'm studying a lot of that stuff right now, of course, because of the Emerald Tablets, because of he was a higher elevated being that came to the planet to teach us. And he never said, I'm a god, worship me, you need to bow before me, blah, blah, blah. But people deified him because of his alien technology, because of his knowledge. Again, we see through the time, we've seen, with Jesus, with Muhammad, with Krishna, there have been a lot of people who have come to the planet to get us going straight again, but we flip it. We want to deify this person, and then we want to make ourselves even smaller. We're just worthless little worms. Thank God that Jesus came to save us from all of our sins, because we would be nothing but dirty little worms on the ground.
Yep.
With no help at all. No future. We have to have a savior. I can't, it's so barbaric to me. It's so like caveman to still think that somebody is going to show up like Captain Caveman and save the day while you're sitting on your arses and doing nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the scapegoat. Nobody wants to take responsibility for the world. It's all of our fault. It's all of our fault. Every person who's living today, it's our fault.
Had to plug in.
You're dying.
I was dying.
no,
Yeah,
don't die, not yet.
Say again? I couldn't hear you.
I said, don't die. Please don't die on us.
Not yet.
Well,
There's still
I'm
too
still
much
here.
work to be done.
I wake up every morning going, oh, I'm still here. Oh, man.
Right.
Another day.
Another day. We get to wake up some more, remember more, forgive more, love more.
But there are huge changes happening all over the world. Huge. I don't know how much you guys are seeing over there, but it's really refreshing to be here right now and seeing these monumental changes, huge, right? Especially again in the Iraq region, and everything is going to be done soon with the Iraqi dinar. They gave the president the bill for the budget 2 days ago, I believe. He has 15 days to look over it and sign it. We are coming into Eid al-Adha here soon, which is a huge holiday in the Middle East. And that starts on July 2nd, I want to say. So everybody is thinking he wants to hurry up and get this bill, get everything signed before we go into the holiday season. He only has 15 days again. So, and then, okay, they paid their dues.
Yeah, they pay, and
Did
they paid
you
the
see that?
contractors. And they paid the contractors.
They paid the contractors. They paid their dues to be in the World Trade. What is it called? WTO. The World Trade Organization. So why would they be doing all of this stuff if there was not going to be a major rate change soon? Right now, the Iraqi dinar is worthless. It's junk. Nobody is going to trade the Iraqi dinar at 13.10. Nobody, right? Now, also, look, everybody, there's several, I don't remember the exact countries, and I don't want to make stuff up here, but several countries, I was just reading this morning, are planning on, they've already made contracts to buy their oil from Iraq. Why would they be doing that? Okay, 17 billionaires just took their businesses to Baghdad, the capital city of Iraq. There's huge changes coming over here. Huge. Everything is leading to the same thing. The rate is going to be at the American dollar, possibly more. All of the BRICS nations are all turning against the American dollar. There's more people joining the BRICS nations every day. And, the West is acting like everything is fine. Everything is fine. We're going to do this CBDC thing. Everybody's just going to keep falling in line like they've always done. America, the Americas, have bought less gold than anybody else in the world. So what does that tell you? They really think this CBDC thing is going to work. What is the rest of the countries doing? Russia has just bought, I don't even remember the number, it's so big, but it was like 150 metric tons of gold. All of the BRICS nations and the nations over here are stocking up in gold and silver, gold and silver, gold and silver. This digital thing in America is not going to fly. But they're not purchasing gold and silver either. So where are people going to turn to when this thing doesn't fly? Because nobody is going to willfully go to another concentration camp kind of scenario, right?
Well, I don't know.
There's just
like a bunch of frogs in the boiling pot.
There's a lot of people sleeping, but there's also a lot of people awake. And I'm telling you, especially Texas, you start pushing that stuff in Texas and it's going to be all out.
I don't know how many people lined up for an experimental to be a willing experiment.
My bad.
Man, I tell you, it just confounds me that, I look at people who are like, they're so worried about their organic food and it's got to be organic. And yet they're all going in for their boosters and it's like, why bother with organic? You just shot yourself up with a bunch of unknown shit.
Snake venom. Wow. I
Whatever.
yield.
Yeah.
Scratch everything I just said from the record.
Humans can be pretty stupid, but also we have the capacity to be brilliant.
Yeah.
We have been deliberately dumbed down.
Yeah.
We've been programmed. And because of that, I have a lot of compassion for humanity.
Yeah.
So it's in some ways, it's not their fault, but also they became lazy. And I look at Americans here, they're just lazy. They're just no drive to bring out something wonderful or big, or and that's one reason I loved the groups with the humanitarian projects. They still had hopes and dreams alive inside of them. They were listening to the divine speaking to them to bring something better. So I love hanging out with people who participate in those kind of projects, because they're intact. They're still awake. They're still intact. And
if one awake person can just help one other person, just one, everybody just help one person, it's going to spread like wildfire before you know it.
Well, I'm doing my part over here.
I most definitely hope I'm doing my part as well.
Me too. I pray that what I'm doing is enough. I do.
I do hope it is enough, because I really can't imagine do anything more at this point.
Yep. I agree. I just wake up every morning and go, what would you have me do today? And then please show me how, because sometimes I get, I just run into so many interesting people, and not too long ago, I was at the drugstore, needed to get new mascara. So I'm at the drugstore, and the woman, I don't know how she chose me amongst the people that are there. She just started talking to me about what's going on in the world. Like, she was awake. She was like just this one person that was awake and found another person that was awake to talk to. Right. So I'd have never said, oh, that person must be awake. I would have never guessed that about her, but she was. And she was in dismay about what she was witnessing with other people in the store. So it's, we just stay awake, speak when we can. I don't believe anymore that we should try to convince anyone of anything.
Right.
You just be the living example of the truth. And that's all you can be. You cannot talk people out of their decisions. One, they don't want to be wrong. Who wants to be wrong?
Right.
So, they make a decision that's based on being programmed. Well, they get righteous about that. And now we got a whole bunch of people that are banded together in that programming. And they're really, I look at kind of like phases. If I go back in time, like I look when I was in high school, that was the 60s. We were all wanting to be hippies. It was like the hippie movement, right? Well, that was a total program to be a hippie. That was program.
Yeah, that's right.
Falling lockstep into that, where what was being offered at that time. Go back and look at if you can go back and find videos on people who tell you about the music industry and the programming that was just in the music industry, programmed into the music to get us programmed. So there's that. Then what did they introduce in the 60s? Psychedelics and the overabundance of cannabis in being offered.
Feminism.
Right? Feminism, burn your bras. Was all programming, every bit of it. And then I step back a little bit further, and what was it? There were the beatniks. I don't know. Did any of you ever hear of the beatniks?
No, not me.
So that was like 10 years before the hippies. There was the beatniks, and they all wore like black berets and all black, and they listened to jazz and they snapped their fingers.
Okay, I know the people. I didn't know what they were called.
They were called the beatniks, right? And then what was before that? You can keep going back, and you can see pods of how people are expressing themselves. So now, we fast forward from, there's this generation, the X generation, the Y gens, the whatever, and they're all copying, they're all ascribing to a particular program. And, it's really interesting, because this is how I know the divine has always been with me. I had every opportunity to fall deeply into the hippie movement. Totally, like I had the look going on. I had the long hair. I like
share look.
Skirts, it's like I had the hippie look going on, but I did not have the hippie consciousness. I wasn't about going to. I mean, I did go to some concerts, whatever. Most of that just really didn't. It didn't resonate with me. I had the opportunity to have any kind of drug that I wanted. I have used drugs. Those things didn't resonate with me. So I know that there was like these turning points that would happen. Some of them weren't so good either, but I know that I had angels on my side directing me away from that shit, directing me away from that, and putting me in alignment with organizations like when I was being shifted and moved away from that hippie movement. I was really getting involved in an organization called Information Council of the Americas. They were really diving deep into the assassination of Kennedy. And
wow. And then we had that.
Right. So it's like I got, as a young girl, I am exposed to key players. I won't mention any names, but key players that were involved in those investigations. Now, this is back in the 60s, right? So it's like it was all fresh and new. I have in my collection. I only have 2 albums. I don't know if you know what an album is. It's a black.
I have albums.
No, I do know.
I have 2 albums of recordings from Lee Harvey Oswald being interviewed.
Wow.
That man was totally CIA operative. That man did not kill anybody. That man, it was like, well,
that was a fall guy.
He was a fall guy. Now, these recordings were way before the assassination ever happened.
Wow.
So it's like I go back and I look at how deeply humanity has been programmed. That beautiful human being, John Kennedy, came here to make changes. He saw the evil. He saw the corruption. We knew then there were multiple reasons why they wanted to get rid of him. He wanted to change the banking system. He tried. He wanted to go to silverback.
It was the banking.
Yeah, right. You can't change their debt system, because if we go back to silverback, we're free again financially. We're not.
And why did they push the feminist movement so hard? In the 50s, the Rockefellers looked around and said, hold on, we got 50% of Americans sitting at home and they could be paying more taxes
That's
Let's
one
get
reason.
these women in the workforce so we can make more money, and people fell for it. Hook, line, and
That's one
sinker.
reason. The other reason is if you can damage the family unit. You were talking about the mom staying home and the dad going out. They changed the
mom
narrative
teaching the children
that we don't need the parents. You just put them in the government schools. We'll take care of your children during the day.
Indoctrination
We'll
camp.
do that for you. Yeah. And you don't have to pay for that, right? We will take care of that for you. The dads, what happened to them? There are so many absent fathers in these homes. They changed the entire dynamic of, and then what do they do in the welfare system? They're rewarding mothers for not having
no father in the home
and reproducing more children. So for me, it's more than just, it's more than just the money and the extra income, which is always their goal. They want to extract anything out of humans. We're a human resource. I mean, I hate that whole consciousness of the human resource. That means they're tapping into us for our life energy. They're sucking that energy out of us. They're using us for their agenda. We're nothing to them. So you see, it's so easy for them to prey on the little ones because the adults have gone to freaking asleep, and we're just not paying attention anymore. So they've destroyed the family unit. They've destroyed the sanctity of family and marriage. They've destroyed that.
Yeah.
And it's for us to, again, do what we're doing here, talking about, being angry about it. I think it's important. Anger on, look on the map of consciousness, and people say, oh, you don't want to be angry. Well, actually, anger is a really good energy source to pull you out of being asleep. Pull you out. That's why I want people to see the sound of freedom.
Right. You need passion. You need anger. You need to be angry enough to want to change something.
Exactly. You need to build a fire inside your dead self.
Comfortable never helped anybody.
Nope. So, we got a lot of work to do as a species to, one, just remember if people understood who we are, they wouldn't, if we come back to that being who we are and incarnated how we incarnate is incredibly powerful. But we've been taught through media, through marketing, that if we use this product, we'll look better, we'll smell better, we'll be better, we'll be richer, you'll find the perfect man, blah, 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 blah. And marketing is just that. It's marketing. It's not truth. It's you use this, you'll be better. No, well, okay, you got sick, so let's go use this. And it's actually brilliant how they do it. It's actually brilliant. But these
are the smartest people the world has ever known, the deep state. They are the best marketers. They can sell anything to anybody. I mean, they know the psychology of human beings, and they use it all against us, and we fall in line because it's they do it so perfectly, we don't know we're being manipulated.
Yeah, it's even in the little thing. I was reading, this is a long time ago, I was reading about how a shampoo manufacturer wanted to figure out how they could make more money. So how they made more money was on the bottle, they wrote, you wash your hair twice.
Yeah.
Right? You wash your hair twice? Yeah.
And on top of that, they decided to can make even more, make conditioning separately.
Exactly. You wash so you first, all you need is once, right? Because that way you don't wash all the oils out of your hair. So
Right.
you strip all the oils out, and then you can put them back in with their whatever that the shit they got in that and their conditioner stuff, right? It's all marketing. It's all programming, even down to washing our hair. So
then because you've been shampooing and conditioning your hair with all of these products your whole life, your hair grows prematurely gray, your hair falls out prematurely. Then you have to buy things to make your hair grow back. Mascara. We use mascara that makes our eyelashes brittle and dry and fall out. So then they make Latisse. So we'll spend money and we put lotion on our skin. We put makeup on our skin that gives us more wrinkles, but then they give us lotion to take away the wrinkles. And it's just a never ending cycle. Let me ask you guys something. Is my hair pretty?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
What about my face? Is my face pretty?
Yep. It's beautiful.
I don't wash my hair. I don't wash my hair. I have not put shampoo in this hair since, I can't even tell you since when. You know what I use? Good old baking soda water. And I only do that about once a month. Honestly, I do not wash my hair but about once a month, and I never put product on my hair. I use baking soda. And then I don't condition it. If I feel like it's a little dry, I'll use one of two things. I can go through it, finger in some coconut oil, all natural, virgin, cold pressed, organic coconut oil, or if it's, I've been swimming a lot and super dry, vinegar conditions your hair amazing, and it doesn't kill your hair. My face, I don't use the store-bought makeup. I make my own foundation. I make my own mascara. I use henna for my eyebrows. Everything is totally natural.
Yeah.
Totally. I even use henna for my lips.
Yeah.
Everything is totally natural. I'm going to be 50 soon, and I feel like I'm still in my 30s, and I know I look great.
Yep.
I feel great. Like, ladies, what are we doing? I don't use lotion on my skin either. I use good old coconut oil, castor oil.
Alisha, I want to ask you, what you use for your teeth? How you brush your teeth?
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Yeah, it brightens your teeth.
Yeah. So what you can do first. Now, again, this is all natural, organic, blah, 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 cold pressed, virgin. I keep a separate, this is for my skin, so I don't touch it with my toothbrush, but I have one of these in the bathroom. I will just put my toothbrush in there a little bit, and I'll scrub my teeth with a soft toothbrush, only use soft, but I don't spit it out. After I brush my teeth, I will slosh it in my mouth I try to do it as long as possible, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yep.
It kills cavities.
And bacteria.
Makes your teeth whiter and bacteria. Yeah. Yep. Everything is all natural.
It pulls out parasites. There's a process of oil pulling where you take the coconut oil and you put it in your mouth and you swish for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You do not swallow that shit. You spit it out.
Spit it out.
Right. For me, I make my own soaps. I make my own products. I know exactly what's in all of my products. I use beautiful organic oils, coconut oil, maybe like I even make my own shampoos out of beautiful oils, and some of those I scent with the essential oils. So I'll use high vibratory oils like rose, and essences of raw cacao, things that are just lovely. Because I'm very olfactory. I love the fragrances. My body soaps. I created one I call it the 3 gifts. It has myrrh and frankincense, and it's got a little bit of gold flecking in it. So that's the 3 gifts. And all of
the gifts.
And they're all like every oil is, cold pressed, organic, natural. And and I make my own creams. Same thing. Beautiful oils. I don't put fragrance in those oils. I do use something called carrot seed oil, which has a beautiful light flowery essence to it. But I'm 71. I think I look phenomenal.
Beautiful. You do. Absolutely.
I have no wrinkles. And yes, I have some silver, but I actually really like that.
I do too. I like your silver.
And it's I know what I'm putting in my body. I know what I'm putting on my body. I do never put SPF on my skin because our sun heals our bodies. Why would I block that healing happening? No way.
Not to mention the chemicals, the harsh chemicals that go into keeping the sun blocked from your skin.
Yeah.
My motto is, if I can't eat it, it doesn't go anywhere on my body or in my body.
Yep.
Lotions, shampoos, anything. If I can't eat it, it doesn't go on my body.
Well, it's even like that with we'll go back to food, right? Like an avocado. Eat avocados quite often. Well, I'll always, at the end when I'm scraping it out, I take what's closest to the skin, that darker green part, and then I just massage that all into, and then put it on my face.
That is so amazing for your hair too.
Yeah, it just
like my hair is so curly. It gets dried really easily because of the curl. So yeah, avocado oil is amazing for your
avocado oil. Yeah, it's using those lemons. Same thing. If I'm squeezing a lemon, I'm going to take and rub that on, put it in my hair. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just using your.
But lemon is not too strong. It's actually very strong. Very, very concentrated thing. It's not too strong for face.
Nope.
I put it on my face twice a day. Twice a week. I don't do it more than that because, again, it is strong and I'm not trying to damage my skin. I'm just trying to give myself an even skin tone. So I do it every Monday and Thursday. I put lemon juice all over my face and let it sit for an hour. And then I'll wash it off and put on my coconut oil or something. But
Yep. So you focus on what you put within you, eat food, but also your thoughts. We are what we think.
That's a big
We're not
one.
just what we eat. We are what we think and what we believe.
That's a big one.
Right. And then we use that as our actions out into the world. So if we're healthy, and I look at like so many people, well, I'll even go back to one of my children. I had her daughter one day, and I picked her up from school, and on the way to my house, she goes, "Grandma, can we stop at McDonald's?" And I go, "Absolutely not.
I wouldn't do that stuff to my dog."
Right. So I said, "You deserve better than that." I go, "What is it that you want?" "Oh, I want a milkshake." "Great. I know a beautiful place that makes homemade ice cream. I will go get you a milkshake. I am not taking you to crap." But I see her parents take her there.
Yeah.
Right? Her parents have already, she's 4, and she's already wanting that stuff in her body. So she'll have me that can kind of counter that and remind her, you deserve better than that. We're going to eat whole food. We're going to eat beautiful. Oh, you want a hamburger? Great. We're going to go get some organic hamburger, and Grandma will make you a hamburger. I'll give her what she wants, but I'm going to give her the real stuff. I'm not going to
The better alternative.
buy her any garbage, and she can count on me for that. She can just, she told, and I guess her dad offered to take her to McDonald's after I'd had this conversation with her, and she told him, no, Dad, I deserve better than that.
Nice.
He knows where that came from.
Okay, but how come your children actually do that? Because you obviously teach your children right.
I did. You know, my children, they at home, we ate organically only. We had a beautiful garden. I was really into the food. I love cooking. And so we would have once a week, we would have ethnic night. And each child, I had 4 children, they could choose what country or ethnicity they wanted to talk about. And we would get the food, we'd study what their food was, we'd go to the grocery store, we'd find those things, we'd look at herbs, we'd look at that, we'd talk about the culture. So my kids had that experience. They didn't pass that on to their children because they were also in those government schools. And and I did not know better. I just did not know better, but they were slowly being indoctrinated just by their friends and their families, right? They wanted to eat like their friends did. They didn't want to eat homemade bread. That was like, oh my God, this is such a, we're so ashamed, my bread's not cut perfectly or whatever, but my kids do know the difference. I mean, they do have that, but I see them falling into it. It's easy. It's sad, but again, that's their business. All I can do is just be who I am. I mean, I look at myself and I'm healthier than my children. So, I'll just be a living testament to what it is to, do what's correct.
Okay, ladies, we already 7 minutes late today. And Morganne probably have to have session in a minute.
Yeah, pretty quick at 11 o'clock. So I have to get going. But yeah, this has been a beautiful conversation. I appreciate this. And everybody who's listening, please go download The Sound of Freedom. Please pass it on. Please help do your part in telling our world, telling your families, telling your friends what's really going on. Yeah.
So thank you everybody for watching. And Alisha, do you want to say something?
It's simple. Everybody listen, it's simple. You want to know what you can do, how you can make the biggest impact of change in the world? Just like Morganne said, just be present and stay in the energy of peace and love always.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. Please remember, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube videos channel. And see you next time. God bless.
Bye. Love you.